Coming up on Theater Talk.
That's how you really got going in LA, because you had the New York credential?
I was good, man. I was good.
Aside.
But it was a silly question.
Theater Talk is made possible in part by the CUNY TV Foundation.
If you think there's no creator, then you must think the earth made itself.
I don't know who made the earth. I woke up one morning alive and it's here. I make the best of it.
From New York City, this is Theater Talk.
This is New York?
Yes.
You're not in Kansas City anymore, my friend, Ed.
That's right. That's right. And this is Theater Talk. You've wandered into the realm of Theater Talk. Yes.
I know. Mr. Television is suddenly taking Broadway by storm in a wonderful in a wonderful new play called Grace at the Court Theater. I'm Michael Riedel, by the way, of the New York Post.
And I'm Susan Haskins.
I forgot that. And we are delighted tonight to be joined.
I love you.
Thank you.
How do you feel about me?
I think the promises you made me will be worth it.
Oh, don't.
Hi, Cox, bada boom.
We haven't named him yet.
We are delighted to be joined tonight by a face that I'm sure the world knows, Mr. Ed Asner, who, as I said before, is on Broadway now in a new play called Grace. And welcome to Theater Talk.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, because it is Theater Talk.
Trying to change my accent for the show, you know.
Yes, we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And it's slow but sure. I'm living on the Lower East Side now. And it's slowly coming in a Germanic style.
You know, for a moment I'm looking...
Oh, the dirty Hun.
You look like you could be the Santa Claus in Miracle on 34th Street.
No, I'm the Santa Claus and elf, dummy.
I forgot about that.
Where the hell are you? This is America, pal. Wake up.
Okay. As I go through your career, Ed, and your credits...
It's a postman.
Well, and you look...
You're a fine stage actor, but...
Do you always ring twice, by the way?
Yes.
But you look like a postman in your cool shorts in Grace.
Oh, well.
And we get to see your legs.
Those legs
Those are very nice.
Did you work?
Very
Did you
nice.
do some special training the way Hugh Jackman does before he goes on stage and
Oh,
takes
he's a monster.
Yeah. As I look
He's
at
a nice guy, by the way.
He's a very nice guy. You were a really terrific stage actor. I happened to catch years ago your performance in Born Yesterday.
Oh, when they drove me out of town?
Yeah, that one. It was very
That was
good.
quite
With
a
Madeline
pull.
Kahn, wasn't it with Madeline
Yes,
Kahn?
Madeline
Why did
Kahn.
they drive you out of town?
Well, I always think it was Eastern elitism resenting the Western TV star coming in and cashing in on their New York riches.
Well, and now they do that all the time now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, well, you were a pioneer in that sense.
But they didn't like it. Frank Rich began his review by saying, I didn't like this play the first time I saw it.
1932.
Who knows?
Did you really get bad reviews in that? Because I thought you and
They
Madeline were
ripped me
great.
a new one.
Really? Did that keep you away from doing plays?
No, I never was asked back.
That'll
From
do it.
'89 till now. This is the first time I've been asked back.
You're kidding.
No, would I kid you?
Didn't Josie Abity direct that production that you were in?
She was bounced, though.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And what's that tubby guy? John. Oh, I can't remember his name. He took over somewhere along in Washington.
I know
Correct.
John. He does.
Dillinger.
John Dillinger. Oh, that's
Tillinger,
Right.
not
Tillinger.
Dillinger.
Johnny Tillinger. That's right. Right.
Dillinger would have a hard time directing.
It's not available this month.
That's right. So no one asked you for all these years after Born Yesterday, huh?
No.
But you've been doing the FDR play all around the country.
My fourth year. I'll return to that when I finish this.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy doing the theater? Do you enjoy working on Broadway? Do you enjoy
I
8
love
performances a week?
acting.
Movies, TV, theater.
Voiceovers. I get kicks out of voiceovers.
Well, and I see you're doing a lot, but I do want to bring up, you did Up, which was so fabulous. Was that a satisfying job to do while you were doing, yeah?
Yeah, well, you don't think it's going to be the
wonderful,
biggie that
yeah.
It's a comfortable job while you're doing it. It's I tripped on one of the sessions and split my head open.
Oh, well, that's great.
They
So
put 6, not shingles, what do you call them?
stitches.
Staples.
Staples.
Not stitches. Staples in my head, and I did the day's work. That was the only untoward experience that I had. Wow.
Did they have to pay insurance for that?
They covered the bill, I
They
guess.
covered the bill.
Or my plan did. I had I've got a painful callus on the outer perimeter of my right foot. So I called a foot doctor here to see if I could have an appointment. And the first thing out of his receptionist's mouth is, "We don't take insurance." And then she said, and the consultation will be anywhere from $225 to $325. And I thought, well, I want to, and it pains me badly, but I want to think about it. I'm going to go in and give some schmuck $225 just to say hello? Get out of here.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, that's the holy city of Mammon.
Now, you live in California because the bulk of your career was in television out there. Do you like New York? Do you like working in New York? Or do you not, or you want to get out of New York as fast as you can when the job's over with?
That's top secret. You froze my ass the other night when the nor'easter came in. Yeah. That was a cute little storm, wasn't it?
What is it?
It was all so good for all those bottom-living dwellers in Lower Manhattan.
Well, what about California? Come on, you have your earthquakes and your landslides and your
earthquakes
fires. And
hey, the bupkas are the earthquakes. They don't mean anything.
how about those fires in your
Been in
canyons
two.
all the time?
I didn't have one in mine. I think, who was your executive producer?
Susan.
No, but who's the
Oh,
gentleman?
the head of the studio, Bob Isaacson.
Bob Eisner. Well, he told me about, he wanted to get rid of his palmetto bugs. He probably could use a forest fire in his canyon.
I don't think he has a cage, but
I
now,
get the sense that you've got some comic roots. Did you have some improv training at some point in your life, in your career?
I just wanted to be loved.
Like all
Why can't you love me like the others?
this is Michael's great strength. He doesn't love anybody like the others, and that's why he's so powerful. Now, but exactly. Going back, before you get to New York, before you go to California, you were back in Chicago, and weren't you a member of the original Compass Players?
The predecessor.
The predecessor of the Compass.
Yeah, they were going, Paul and David were going into Compass.
Paul Sills and David Shepard.
Yeah. While we were still with playwrights. And some of the people in the Playwrights Theater Club, that's what we were called.
At the U of C, right?
No, we were away from the U of C.
Oh, you
we
were.
had begun as a people at the U of C,
And then you left, and
but we were independent. And some of the people in the company were going with Paul in the Compass. I wanted to take my Chicago reviews and run to New York and slap everybody in the face with them, which I did. And they threw them in the wastebasket.
did you
But
cross?
you were with Elaine May and Mike Nichols out there, weren't you? Did you cross paths with them when they were working?
Well, they were playwrights with me.
Yeah.
Right.
The very first play I think Mike ever directed was Purgatory, a W.B. Yeats play. I did it with Jerry Cunliffe, who was assistant producer on Hair, I think. And
directed
it was a nice little play. Huh?
Mike, you were in the play, Mike directed you?
Yeah.
Did you have a sense then that Mike was going to become the talented director that he is today? Did he have it right there in the beginning?
No.
How bad was he?
No, he was always
Yeah.
elite and very. I mean, he was born to be a snob. And I'm delighted at the pro bono work he's done for civil rights. So
you got these good reviews for working in Chicago, and you thought, all right, I'm coming to New York, and I'm going to take the town by storm. What happens when you first arrive here in New York? Big fish in the little pond.
No. I never had high marks of confidence. I got my pictures. I had my pictures. Fortunately, a friend from college I played Crayon to his Oedipus at an apartment on the 15th and 3rd. He said I could stay with him. I think the rent was $73 a month. And I moved in with him, and all I did was get out on the streets. I wanted to learn the town. I took my pictures and my resumes, and I'd mark down, I forget what the trade papers were called at the time.
The Variety, Backstage.
Backstage, I guess. And I'd mark off a certain area, and I'd go to the agent, I'd go to the producer, leave a picture and resume, fully expecting it to go in a waste can, and I'm sure it did. But I was learning the city.
So how did you get in on Three Penny Opera?
We had done a pirated version of the Bentley version in Chicago while Three Penny was playing here. So I was, not intimidated. I went and got an appointment with Carmen Capalbo and Stanley Chase. And I did Peachum in Chicago, and I thought, I'd see if you got any jobs for me here. And they knew they couldn't get any money out of me, so they weren't going to pursue that. But I said, well, we'll put you down when we have an opening. I then...
Sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Mogul.
I know, Mr. Mogul.
Kurt
Oh,
Weill.
yeah.
Kurt Weill here. We're talking to you. Ed, it was a big success in your Three Penny Opera, Kurt. I'll get back to you later. He says hello.
Or maybe not.
A lot of Lenya, too.
Yeah. Oh, I worked with her.
What was she like?
Yeah, what was she like?
She was cute.
Really? we know quite a bit about her. We just had someone on talking about her. She was quite a randy lady. Lotta.
At which point?
At the point when you knew her, was she? No.
No.
Yeah.
But she looked like she had been.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How come you didn't stay in New York? How come you didn't, make a run at Broadway, or how did you drift out?
I didn't make a run at Broadway.
Yeah, you
I
just
was
didn't.
in Face of a Hero.
Oh, right.
And Sandy McKendrick, the famed director of most of the Guinness movies, was going to direct it. Boy, I can't do better than that.
Yeah.
And a fantastic, brilliant cast. Jack Lemmon and all those people. And then the night before rehearsals began, he said, loved your reading. And I said, oh, well, thank you. Of course, you can't be that funny. And I said, oh, okay. Well, he's the great director. He'll take care of me. Well, half the time he had me with my back to the audience. And finally in Boston, Clermont took over.
Good.
Right.
But it was too late. The boat had sailed. And I saw what I regarded as the hypocrisy of Broadway.
What do you mean?
I find it hard to believe people. And everybody is so self-important that it's hard to wade through that crap.
You mean the darling this and the darling that? And
Yeah, and you can get your chin much higher than they do.
So you found the Broadway people to be big snobs back then?
Yeah.
And they aren't like that in Los Angeles in television, series television?
Well, not around me. I haven't found that. But I was a little pisher then.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. I found some producers. John Wells. I was hired for a three-parter on his ER, but never came to say hello. So I thought, screw you, John Wells. I don't need you.
So
I was wearing a very thin skin in those days. But that hypocrisy still exists. Well, I defined L.A. and New York as New York is filled with hypocrites. L.A. is filled with hypocrites. But in L.A. at least, they tend to blow a little smoke up your ass. So that makes it easier and nicer, Getting back to those palmetto bugs any day now.
so you'd like to be flattered and your ego stroked a little bit, which you don't.
Yeah,
find
while
was
you're
the case
screwing me.
in New York.
or shoving me into the bus. It's a nice thing to have.
But after 1960,
You know what I felt, by the way? I felt that the reception I got in L.A. at that time, my agent went around and introduced me. Ed's out from New York. I felt I could have taken a plane from Chicago to New York, changed planes in New York, and flown out to L.A. and say the same story. I'm just out here from New York, and it would have worked just as well.
So they were in awe of a New York actor.
Yeah.
Interesting. And that's how you really got going in LA, because you had the New York credential?
I was good, man. I was good.
aside.
But it was a silly question. Jesus Christ. I was good for about 4 or 5 years, and then the bottom fell out.
Really?
And when did the bottom
When
fall
did the
out?
bottom fall out?
Oh, 68, 69, 2 years there.
Really?
Well, and why?
The
And
work dried up?
Well, my agent said, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I mention your name in office. Say, oh, yeah, good actor, good actor. Other guys, I'll say, mention names. Oh, get him out of here, get him out of here. Not you, but they just don't have the jobs.
so then how long was that till Mary Tyler Moore?
A couple of years, right?
No, I had a good year prior to Mary Tyler Moore, which led into my reading for Mary Tyler Moore. It was my best year. So I always felt I learned 2 things from that you can be crushed down at any time with no work. So I learned that humility. And second, I had my best year. So I went into Mary Tyler Moore knowing that bad year, the bad years, and the good year. So that gave me the confidence and the strength to act like a mensch when I was talking to these people, and not be a craven coward.
Is this why you became so active in the union at SAG? Because you know what it's like to be an actor who just can't get work, who can't...
I was kind of shoved into it. I was just popular with my peers, and they wanted me. And I walked the line in the 1980 strike. So that endeared me to my peers, and they elected me. And now that New York has sabotaged the union and taken it over,
Well, how have they sabotaged it for those who don't, for our viewers?
I talked about a boom.
One of his favorite Yiddish expressions, which we'll leave you to look up because we can't repeat it in English on air.
Oh, it's a long, indictive statement I would make.
Yes.
And they're not here to defend themselves. But
All right.
I'm curious about just when you're on a show that it was popular, successful, as influential as Mary Tyler Moore. No one knows, of course, if these things are going to take off. But did you have a sense when you first saw these scripts, the pilot, the early shows, that this was...
knew every second.
You did, that it was...
I'd been in LA 9 years. I read the script. I said, oh, God. It's the best character, the best script I've read in 9 years. And to blow my own horn, as we were waiting to march out and start our work, the other 2 guys, Ted and Gavin, said, oh, will we be picked up? Will we be? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. These are the best scripts I've ever read. This is the best character I've ever done. They can cancel us whenever they feel like it, but I will have done it for now.
Well, you know what's amazing, though? I always thought when you're in a show like that, you had such a great cast and chemistry. Is it almost like being in a theater repertory company where you just get to know each other so well? And
Yeah. I mean, to have 3 cameras, or was it 4? I don't even remember. I think it's 3. Covering you, saying these words with 300 people out there serving as a backdrop of laughter. And there were some lines and points where they had to take the laughter down.
really, that good? That good.
So it was the best of all worlds.
Did there ever come a point where the show became so popular and you all became so successful? Was there ever any rivalry on the set, egos getting out
Oh,
of
yeah.
control?
Ted got very paranoid from time to time.
Really?
Yeah, he used to say how I bought my,
Golden Globe?
yeah,
Yeah.
bought my Golden Globe. And It got, I mean, we were the best of buddies most of the time.
Yeah.
Go to dinner every Friday night and get drunk together and all that, with our wives. And this particular time, he was just such an ass. He was just such a ass. And I was furious. And I couldn't stand it, or him. I wanted no contact with him. We weren't speaking. I went on stage that night. He was there, jaunty, jolly, getting his laughs here and here. And here. I went on thinking, I hate Ted, I hate Ted. And I stunk. And it was a very good lesson I learned. Leave it at the doorstep.
Interesting. And did you smooth things over with him after that?
Oh, eventually we did, yeah.
Yeah. Since Mary Tyler Moore was the star of it, was she the driving force? I mean, was she the dominating personality on that set?
Pliant as a reed.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. The best star I've ever been around. Totally generous, totally giving. Happy to have these nuts cavorting around her.
Yeah, and then you went and did Lou Grant Show, which was completely changed over the tone of your character.
5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
that
with
was
with the wonderful Nancy Marchand, who's a superb actress.
So that was very. But now, did all this series television? Did you feel that affected your stage acting in any way, positive or negative?
all.
No,
Not at all.
not at all. Just
When
all
you
the same.
guys became so famous from Mary Tyler Moore, surely then the offers must have been flying in for you to come to Broadway and do Broadway plays.
No. Getting back to your question, I'll get to you. You just wait. From the get-go, people were, well, should we say the line for the camera or should we say it for the 300 people in the audience? And I refused to let myself be pulled down that way. I was going to say the line the way I felt I should say the line, projecting so that somebody in the first row or the camera will hear me, like you. And it never became a problem.
Yeah.
Now you.
But when you guys became so famous from that TV show, surely then the Broadway world that was so snobby to you wanted you to come back to capitalize on your fame.
I remember I was called, asked to do a Tony presentation. Nervous as hell. I was walking in the corridor with Tig Andrews, and your great director, dance director,
Michael Bennett, Bob Fosse.
Fosse, walking towards us, and he looks half tanked. and I guess Tig knew him from before. What are you guys doing here? And Tig said, well, you don't belong here.
You don't belong at our
This
Tony
was
Awards.
sacrosanct territory. Celluloid actors should not appear on.
We haven't talked about Grace yet. What attracted you to this amazing part that you're doing of Carl,
The Exterminator.
Carl the Exterminator, who survived all kinds of horrible.
Well, I just did it so to point out that there are good German exterminators.
So these
We
issues,
should say in Grace, he plays an exterminator, a bug exterminator, who keeps coming in and out of these people's lives.
Well,
and you're a German refugee, right? But not Jewish.
but you have an epiphany of faith and grace, which is very important and thought-provoking. That's the high point of the play.
Oh, I won't call it the high point.
Well, it was to me.
Huh?
I would.
I'm an avowed atheist. And things happen in the play whereby I'm not sure. And I reveal that. It's a very nice discussion. The performers are beautiful.
Oh, amazing.
They're just great.
But the audience goes the most nuts over you.
Do people still call you Lou Grant wherever you go? Does that bother you?
No, because he was a wonderful man.
Yeah. But Peter Falk said the same thing. He'd never mind it. It never bothered him when people called him Lieutenant Columbo. He said every actor should be so lucky to have had these parts to play.
How could we not? I mean, you have to fight the image and, fight to achieve other characters, other fascinating. And I've been very lucky with my movies of late.
Yeah.
Even though one had this beard and the other had a voice.
Well, listen, it's been delightful talking with you. Ed Asner, who
I'm
is
so
on...
glad because I have to go pee.
You can see him in a fine new
John.
play. Yeah, it's in the John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where is the John?
Lou Grant uses the John just like
Give
the
us
rest
one
of
second.
Us. We let us say goodbye. Yes.
Will you?
Ed Asner is in a new play.
No.
Grace
Hi, Cox Bada Bon.
at the Court Theater. Thanks for being our guest on Theater Talk, Ed.
Our thanks to the Friends of Theater Talk for their significant contribution to this production. Theater Talk is made possible in part by the Frederick Lowe Foundation, the Eleanor Naylor Dana Charitable Trust, the Alan S. Gordon Foundation, the Corey and Bob Donnelly Charitable Fund, Carrie J. Fries, the Dorothy Strelson Foundation, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, and the New York State Council on the Arts, a state agency.
We welcome your questions or comments for Theater Talk. Thank you and good night.